Not every photography adventure starts the way you hope. This one began with disappointment and even a minor injury. That said, the incredible sunset at the end was well worth it. Let's get into it. I don't know if I should be doing this or not. I'm heading back to Keating Waterfall. That's where I crashed my drone. My camera sunk. It's cursed. But had a family outing that's like just near here, so it'd be stupid not to, well, unless something goes wrong, but hopefully at least just to show you guys what it looks like. So it's like 2 hours before high tide, and I think it's just around here. I'm gonna climb up and see. I'm not seeing any water. I could see it from further back before, because we haven't had a whole lot of water, but I gotta be quick here because again, the tide's coming up. But yeah, it looks like you gotta hit this thing when it's super duper early. So the very first time I was here, like there'd be water falling down on these rocks, like off of this ledge. There's barely anything in there anyway. I don't feel too bad about being cut off. But yeah, you gotta come super early for this one. I'm gonna get back before I get stuck. I guess head back to the cottage and enjoy a fire. No photography today. This is one of the shots I took 4 years ago. These are the rocks I was just standing on, and about an hour later on this day, my camera went for a swim. Eventually, I'll showcase this waterfall properly as it deserves. Almost made it without falling. Oh well. On the way back, after yet another disappointing visit to this location, I spotted something that caught my eye. It was a patch of seaweed, algae. Honestly, I don't know what it was, but it looked cool. It had some really interesting textures, so I snapped a couple photos before moving on. When I got home and looked at the images on the computer, I wasn't impressed. In fact, I almost dismissed them without even giving them a second thought. Then, as a last-ditch attempt, I rotated one of the photos. Suddenly, I saw it. A figure. A head with a body structure radiating what looked like flames. Now I can't unsee it. Maybe it's because we've been binge-watching Supernatural, and one of the recent episodes featured a humanoid figure engulfed in fire. Of course, fire isn't green, so I experimented with the colors to better match what my brain was seeing. Do you see the figure too, or is my imagination getting the better of me? Let me know what you think. The curse of Keating Falls continues. I spent a little time watching a surprisingly brazen mouse, which was pretty neat. With photography seeming off the table, it was time to head back to the cottage. The rest of the evening was exactly what a getaway should be. Good company, plenty of laughs, great food, a few drinks, and a couple of games. Then it happened. I glanced outside and noticed that the sky was beginning to glow. Colors were building by the minute. And there was no way I was going to let that pass me by, and the camera came back out. So I was taking some long exposures of the clouds, kind of more over this direction from the grass. Now I'm on the rock beach here, and I'm going to use these guys as my foreground, but I'm kind of shooting into this open area, so I don't know if it's going to work. I might run to the other side and then shoot into those clouds. Have some pink hues in it. So 15 stop, I'm at about 3.5 seconds, so we'll smooth everything out. The clouds aren't moving a whole lot, but the idea is kind of like super blur those out. But we'll see what we get here. So the tide is still coming in. 3.5 minute exposure, it shouldn't come up that much, but from here, so I'll keep an eye on it. But it is coming in still. Yeah, so I kind of did what I kind of didn't want, this open gap in here. I'm gonna go onto that other side and shoot a different composition. I actually don't mind how this image turned out. At first I thought the break in the clouds would throw the whole composition off balance, but the more I looked at it, the more I think it works. The gap in the sky is echoed by the opening and the lack of rocks in the Bay of Fundy below it on the right. Nature isn't perfectly symmetrical, and neither is this scene. Those two spaces seem to complement each other, creating a balance that feels natural rather than forced. So I'm on the other side of those rocks, shooting away from the sun now, so I had to put a 10 stop on. The sun's hitting the rocks for a specular highlight, so I have the polarizer on, which also helped me get into the 10 stop range, or else I'd be in like an 11, which I don't have, obviously, to get me into that realm. So I'm in the exact same settings I was with the 10 stop polarizer that I was with the 15 shooting into the sun, which is peak note there. So I have a wider view here, so I'm incorporating more of this. But again, we got nicer clouds, I think. Let's see if that comes in. The water is coming in pretty quick though. My subject rocks are disappearing. Maybe shoot into this clump here next. Maybe one last shot here. Might have to go back, join the family. The soccer game is over then probably, but if it's not, might be able to take some more shots. I'll have my camera out and snap more of the color as it comes. If we get more, which probably it's open. Those probably will glow pretty soon, I hope. Bay of Fundy. Just as I was finishing my final exposure, something unexpected happened. A seal popped its head just offshore, perfectly catching the warm glow of the setting sun. It would have made an incredible photograph. I quickly swapped to the telephoto lens, but by the time I was ready, it already disappeared beneath the surface. With my surprise visitor gone, I turned my attention back to the sunset, capturing a few final frames of the glowing sun before filming it as it slipped below the horizon. Well, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear what you think about those long exposures. Did you have a favorite? This outing definitely reminded me that I need to photograph more sunsets. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you in the next one.